Hi guys, Max Andre here, Built Insurance Advisors. Those of you who know us know that for the most part we are a health insurance company. About 75% of the cases that we do week to week are health insurance driven. Whether it's Medicare Advantage, Medicare supplements, prescription drug plans, long-term care plans, home health plans, things of that nature. That's pretty much what separates us from other agencies, and that's our niche. So every now and then in the field, we'll have a conversation with a client that tells us about a problem they're having with their plan or with their financials altogether. And we'll say, you know what, I wish more agent knew about this type of problem that what they're selling can create. And also we wish more client knew about that there's a solution for that problem as well, so we can help them address it. So this particular case that we went to had to do with a client that's on both Medicare and Medicaid. And after we finished addressing the client's needs, make sure her continuity of care is handled, the client pretty much told us, hey, you know what? I've been seeing these commercials on TV. I keep calling for them and nobody ever calls me back. Do you guys handle that? And I was like, okay, what's the issue? She was like, well, this commercial keep coming up for final expense life insurance policy, and I need to get one of those. We're like, okay, well, one, you're in luck. We can address that for you as an agency. Although we concentrate on health insurance, that's what we're known for. We do both sides. And I told her secretly, I'm kind of glad no one called you, not because of course, the opportunity to do the business for you, but a lot of the guys calling you back when you fill out those forms for life insurance or for final expense tend to be just life insurance agent or final expense agent, or they concentrate primarily on the life insurance side. They don't really do much on the health insurance. And I explained to the client that, believe it or not, especially when you're on Medicare and Medicaid or Medicaid only, some life insurance policies could actually have a negative impact on your health insurance plan. And she looked at us kind of strange, and I can see some agents actually on the other side of the screen looking at us with that same look on their face. And I'm going to explain to you what we mean by that. And it kind of makes sense if you think about it the way I'm going to explain it. When someone has any part of Medicaid or food assistance or anything like that, what's the one major thing with those type of assistance program? You cannot have too much in assets. You cannot have too much money in the bank. If you have a lot of money in the bank or need a lot of access to a lot of cash, then they want you to spend that money first before they'll give you the Medicaid. So think of it that way. You go out, you speak to an agent that's offering your final expense policy, and one of the big draws in the final expense policies or any kind of permanent whole life policy, universal policies, there's cash value accumulation. So you're building money cash inside the policy that you can withdraw in the future, you can get from, and everything else. Now, every couple of years, 2-3 years, you get a letter from the state telling you to come in to do what's called a recertification. They'll send you a letter. That letter will actually tell you what to bring with you: bank statements, life insurance policies, life insurance cash value statements, retirement planning, anything else, like anything of that nature. And what they're going to actually do is, you apply for life insurance policy now. You're paying it for a couple of years, 2-3 years. In 3 years from now, you have $900 in cash value accumulation. I'm just picking up a random number. So $900 in cash value, and then in your bank account, you have an extra $700. So we're not talking about a lot of money here. So a very little policy. But a lot of states, you cannot have access to more than $1,500 in cash to be able to qualify for Medicaid, especially certain Medicaid level. So QMB Plus, for those that don't know anything about Medicaid, is the highest level. Then we have QMB, SLMB, and all these different other Medicaid level, with the lowest level being I believe it's Q1, or there's also one that's called spend down. That's when you have too much money in the bank. They want you to spend down that money first before the Medicaid kicks in. So there's different variations of them. That Medicaid level that you have dictates how much benefits that the insurance company or how much benefit you receive overall. So food assistance, transportation, utility bill payments, assistance, I don't know, money for over-the-counter benefit, things of that nature. So let's say, like I said, $900 in the cash value, $800 in your bank account. All of a sudden, you're over 1,500. Now it's causing an issue as far as how much they recertify your Medicaid for. They may lower your benefits or whatever it may be, or the cash value grew to $2,000. Anyway, as long as you go back over that state allowed cash access, it's gonna have an impact on your Medicaid level, which in turn is gonna have a domino effect on your Medicare Part C plan or on your Medicaid plan for that matter. And now all of a sudden, the product that you purchase to resolve an issue as far as federal expense or when that time comes, so your family doesn't have to be sitting there doing GoFundMe or whatever it is for federal expense purposes, that product, which is very dated by the way, is causing another problem for you on the other side, because now that your Medicaid level change, you're paying more out of pocket for your prescription drugs, for your doctor's visit, things of that nature. So that's why I'm glad no one called, because if someone that called and doesn't know that, because they're not a health insurance agent, they're not going to ask those questions. What kind of health insurance plan that you have? Do you have Medicare and Medicaid, things of that nature? Because that has nothing to do with life insurance. But being with an agent that knows those things, that knows your history, will actually help you as far as making sure that whatever that product they're giving to you is not going to have any unintended consequences down the line, because that can happen, and unfortunately it has happened in the past. So that's why we're bringing it up. So now, that's not to scare anyone to not buy any final expense policies. That's not what I'm saying. You can still purchase them. It just have to be set up properly. You just have to be pretty much set up with a company but that will give you a policy in a way where it's Medicaid proof. There's various ways of doing it. Okay, and agents can tell you, well, in that case, we'll just sell you something that doesn't have cash value, like a term life insurance. Term life insurance is okay, but the thing is, it's exactly for that term. After you reach a certain age, you cannot renew that term, and the older we are, the smaller that term will be. So, for example, someone that's 70 years old, you pretty much get a term insurance policy. You probably can only get it for 10 years, and after the 10 years is done with. So after age 80, if you're still alive, then all of a sudden you're 80 years old and you don't have any more final expense policy because you only purchased the term. So yes, term insurance is a way to solve that issue, but it's not the only way to solve that issue. And I would never recommend someone getting a term insurance as a final expense, because the hope is that you're staying on this earth, live with your family as long as possible. We don't have a time clock to know when exactly the final day is going to come. So I would not do a term insurance. I would still do the whole life or the universal life, but I'll just make sure it is set up properly by the agent so that your interests are protected and your benefits are protected as well. Max Andre here, Built Insurance Advisors. If you appreciate this message, it was useful, like, comment, and share. If you know someone that's on Medicare and Medicaid or Medicaid only, share this video with them as well, something that they need to know about. Any additional question that this bring up for you, whether you're an agent or a client, feel free to put it in the comment, or you can DM us, we'll answer it. Again, like, comment, and share. Follow us for more such videos. There will be one video a week. That'll probably be as long as this. We'll do those every Monday. And the other videos will be normal TikTok videos that's less than a minute, just to build the algorithm. Thank you. Have a great one, and stay safe, stay healthy.